Hi there, Rabbi Brian AF, a little spiritual biscuit for you.
Rabbi Brian Zachary Mayer, I help the spiritual but not religious.
There's a chance this spiritual religious thing is not what you think.
You get to choose who you are in this world, and that's enough, and that's awesome.
The less you believe everything you think, the better.
I'm ready, you're ready, let's dive in. Hey, Rabbi Brian here. I want to talk, I spoke in my last newsletter about how we hear the word Yanni or Laurel, or we see the dress as white and gold, or we see it as blue and black, and nobody gets really offended that someone else sees it differently than you do, but there's something really different, it seems, about politics, where people get really upset and lose their sense of inquiry, and stop asking each other, and really just are like, you are wrong. And so I want to follow up on that by talking first about the butterfly effect. And the butterfly effect is this theory, a very well supported theory, that that weather is such a mix of everything going around that the effect of a butterfly's wings in the Arctic will affect the weather in the Sahara. And if you have 1 million butterflies, all the more so. And here's my thinking. A lot of us feel really frozen about what is it that I can even do in this political climate. And I'm going to say, join me. And let's put, for as cliche as this is, let's take some of the hate that we have out of the mix. And let's add some love and kindness. If we can do those two things, if I do those two things today, it will affect the world. And if you and I do it together, you and I can change the world. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday, just do a little less hate and do a little bit more love. If you can hold on to your anger for 1.5 seconds, and in the past you could only hold on to your anger for 1 second before exploding, that works. And I want to see what happens if we band together. Never forget that a small number of like-minded people are the ones who change history. That's what I'm asking. That's what we are, is we can change history. Let's try it by Thursday. Let's check on in. Let's just do it as a little experiment. Let's see what happens if we complain less. I tell a quick story about my son. We're sitting at the table. We were playing a card game, and I talked to him about kvetching, which is a Yiddish word for complaining. Not like a major complaint, but just a little whiny is kvetching. And I was like, dude, can you play the game with a little less kvetching? And he got a bad card, and it was like, and then he caught himself, and then he collapsed with his body. And he was like, and then he asked, is it okay if my kvetching is with my body? I was like, yeah, then that's interesting to point out. So I want you to also think about, how do you act? Do you tense up more than you should? Are you being angry with your body and your words? And can you let up for 3 days? And let's see what happens on Thursday. There's a beautiful poem by Hafiz, and he says, I'm not going to get the quote exactly right here, but I'll try. He says, "Fear is the cheapest room in the house, and I would like to see you living in better conditions. Your mother and my mother were once friends. You and I sat together and played footsies in the womb of the Almighty. I know the innkeeper in these parts," says Hafiz, "and I will ask to get you better accommodations. I do not know that it should work, but should I say a prayer today, I know that somewhere in this universe it will affect some good." So I'm going to ask you to do the same. Can you affect some good? Can you say a prayer? Can you do some love? Do some less hate? And let's try it. And come back on Thursday. And let's see that the world has indeed changed because we have put more love in. Let's not be frozen and not know what to do. Let's love a little more. I pick up the garbage in my neighborhood. You know why? Because somebody needs to. And it would be a lot easier if more people did it. Will you join me? Will you clean up? Clean up the garbage outside and clean up if you hear someone saying something that is dehumanizing to another person. Correct them with love and kindness, maybe after the fact. Say, you know what, that wasn't cool. Love is the only thing. I mean, that's where we're going. If we're not going towards love, what are we doing? Much love from me to you. Shout out to my unofficial sponsor of Georgetown Brewery. Here's me holding, I was gonna make a little Georgetown beer there. I love this beer. It's fantastic. Please drink it. Hashtag Georgetown Brewery. Hashtag Rabbi Brian AF. Hashtag Wisdom Biscuit. Please subscribe. Watch these videos. If you don't know about the newsletter, I have a wonderful newsletter called the 77% Weekly. Go to rotb.org. Find out about religion outside the box. Yeah,